Hey, this is Drake here. I was gonna come out with a Remnant 2 guide of sorts. I wasn't really planning on making one on it, and I mean, I've played the game, I guess, for about 150 hours now, and really good game. I really enjoy it. Although, shooter games aren't really my type of game, and this is my first Remnant game, so I'm no expert. But I looked up a whole lot of farming guides, and really, I mean, there's a lot of good ones, but nothing kind of in general. So I was just gonna try to go over some of the in general stuff that is a new person to the Remnant franchise that I have kind of picked up. And uh, I've played a lot of games with a lot of farming, a lot of grinding, but Remnant 2 is kind of unique because most of the worlds are randomized. So each individual person can have a different world, different playthrough, different items. So I'm not going to go over item farming because, like I said, there's lots of guides out there, and it's kind of, you have to re-roll worlds to get different stuff. But there is a few things that I've learned that helped me that I didn't realize at first. All right, and the first thing is, once you get here to Ward 13, you unlock the stone. You have a couple of different options. Now, from here, you've either got campaign mode, adventure mode, or boss rush. Campaign mode, I think possibly you will start out with only this. Campaign mode is what you should start out in. And this is basically your story, and you will play through this until you, and I re-rolled mine because I needed something that I had to get. But basically you will unlock 5 areas. The 5th area will be the final area. When you beat that, that's your first playthrough. But if you're seeking an item, oops, I didn't mean to exit that. If you're seeking a specific item, like I said, there's lots of good guides out there. The easiest way to do it is to go to adventure mode. And in adventure mode, you can roll any one of the worlds that you've already unlocked, and you can re-roll it as many times as you want. It will not affect your campaign progress. And also in adventure mode, when you roll it, it will always roll at 1 level higher than your current character level is. So it's a really good way to farm the higher level materials. See, like level 20 is the highest overall level you can get, and 21 is the highest mission level that you will roll. But as you progress toward end game, you'll notice like your forged steel and hardened iron and all that stuff. Let's see, make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, here, like this one, hardened iron. As you can see, I've got like 647 of them. But as you play through campaign, once you get to the end of and these are mostly from just pickups on the ground. As you get to the end boss, you'll notice, like I was, most of my guns weren't maxed out. I was out of materials. I was constantly out of stuff. So what you want to do at that point is, if you don't want to take on the boss with less than max level equipment, is to go to your adventure mode, re-roll any, it doesn't have to be on apocalypse or anything, you can do it on survivor mode, but re-roll any world that you want, go through and basically just pick up all the item drops, kill all the enemies, and then once you feel like you've done as much as you need, or you don't want to progress any further, go back, re-roll it again, do it again. That's one of the easiest ways I've found to like item farm, because you will get so many materials that way that it, like I said, you'll have 500 or 600, 1,000 in your inventory, just some re-rolling, looking for other things. But if you try to do it just simply through campaign, you're going to have a shortage always that I've done, and that's one thing that I've noticed. Now, the other thing is boss rush. I really wouldn't recommend that until you get, like, you've completed your first playthrough. But yeah, boss rush is probably one of the best. And now you can post it, you can do multiplayer, you can join other people's boss rushes. And it's probably one of the best, it's definitely the best for getting corrupted limonite. And you can get mutators fully crafted, you can get weapons fully crafted, you get tons of XP, but the only problem is boss rushes can be difficult to complete sometimes, and if you die before you finish, you lose a whole bunch of XP that you should be gaining, and you lose a whole bunch of materials too. So, I mean, they're good, but I would not go in there with an unprepared build, because if you die, then basically you just wasted most of your time. And I have noticed that they scale up quite drastically on multiplayer. Multiplayer gives you the ability to revive, but also it makes the bosses hit way harder and have way more health. On Apocalypse mode, boss rushes are a lot easier on single player, or they are for me anyway. Alright, what was the other thing I noticed, and this one was kind of weird to me, and I didn't notice it till recently. You actually have different inventories. See, like I'm on adventure mode now. I have no quest items. If I swap to... Let's give it a second here. If I swap back to campaign mode... And now check my inventory. Now I have quest items. And that's one thing to keep in mind. As you're interacting, going between adventure and campaign mode, and you've got the different vendors and stuff you can interact with, make sure you swap between your difficulties or your playthroughs so that you're not accidentally overlooking an item. That now it doesn't matter on craftables. If you have craftables or consumables, or your materials or your consumables, it doesn't matter, but on quest items it does matter. So sometimes you will, like if you're going to re-roll your campaign, make sure you click on campaign and just go around to your vendors and see if there's anything that you haven't crafted yet that you're going to lose once you re-roll it. That's it. I mean, it's, like I said, and I have yet to find a good scrap farm. I mean, you get scrap from playing the game, but just it seems like if you're building stuff, you're always at a shortage. I'd recommend is just re-roll a world on campaign, find a good spot with several enemies that you can kill easily, and let that be your scrap farm. If you need Luminite, find an elite enemy that spawns close to a checkpoint. And like I said, the worlds are randomized, so it's really hard to point out a specific location. But yeah, do that. If you need Luminite, find an elite that spawns close to a crystal, kill it, go back, and your scrap farming, your Luminite farming, and such as that. Those are just some of the things that I'd come across. And there's a few items for XP farming that help. I mean, you can get this. I'm not going to look any guides, but you can look. Sage Stone gives you 10% more experience for leveling up your archetypes and your prisms. And you can also run, see this one, you can get the Scavenger's Bauble for 50%, and increase scrap pickups by 50%. So if you're scrap farming, this is a really good one to run. You can run, didn't mean to go into that. Now this one only locks after you beat your first playthrough. That way farming kind of becomes a little more productive, but you can do Explorer, which gives more rare drops, and it makes the drops you get count for more, and that's just kind of your farming archetype. But that's kind of it. I mean, I said I just want to go over a general guide because there was several things that I just didn't understand about the game as far as like re-rolling and the best way to get stuff. And after hours of doing it and hours of searching up guides that really didn't explain it, I finally found that like campaign is your story mode. Adventure is to re-roll to get specific material. It's basically material farming or item farming. Now there's certain materials that are tied in campaign that can only be acquired through campaign. But as far as that goes, adventure is basically your item farming thing because you can re-roll it. You don't care. It doesn't affect your campaign. And that's it. And just make sure to check back with your vendors from time to time because they do acquire new items as you progress, pick up different stuff. Make sure you're on campaign or adventure, which one ever you roll, so you'll have the materials tied to that particular playthrough. And really, that's about it. I wasn't going to go anything too specific. It's just a couple of general tips that I wish I would have known earlier, which would have made my playthrough on Remnant a whole lot easier. But that's it. And I was thinking about releasing a build guide on this build I've got, which is really good. It kind of puts Apocalypse mode on easy mode for me. But if I forgot anything, leave in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, click the sub. And as always, thanks for watching.